Sean Sewell with Engearment.com and our beautiful gym Existence Athletics here in Denver, Colorado. We're testing out the Joby Wavo Plus microphone. This guy right here just released. It's an on-camera based microphone that has also a USB powers in and USB-C out, so you can use it with different kind of cell phones as well as your computer. So it's a very versatile microphone. How we have it used right now is plugged into our Sony ZV-E1 camera via the 1/8 inch camera connection cable. In this review, I'll show you the features and functions of it and compare it to a Rode microphone at a similar price point to see how they sound. Let's get into it. So in the box, you get a cable for a smartphone, you get a cable for a camera, you get a USB-A to USB-C, and then finally you get a USB-C to USB-C, and fairly sizable length, so you can use it for camera. You can put it off screen. You can do a lot of things with it. So as I walked away from it, it's also a good test to see how well it picks up. So I'm walking back about 15 feet so far, about 20 feet here, and should be a lot quieter, but there's also ambient noise going on in the gym, and I have the dead cat on, so just wanted to give you that little test right there. I will be comparing to the Rode NTG microphone, this guy right here, who is $250, and I'll be using it with the dead cat as well. But it's as close to a microphone as I could find to test, because this is also a USB-C based microphone with very similar features, the high pass filter, and then the adjustable volume right here. The volume on the Joby is interesting. It is actually 3 settings, a -15, a 0, and a +15. There is a volume knob, but that volume knob is going to be for headphones. So it has a headphone out, which a lot of the other microphones don't have a headphone out. This one does, that way you can monitor your sound to make sure it looks good. For me, all I can do is monitor the settings on the camera. It looks like it's in the green, not quite yellow yet. I have it set to 0, so I imagine I'll probably have to boost it a little bit in post, which is what I often try and do. I try and get the audio lower so it doesn't clip, so that way when I am shooting a video, I don't want to say in a high consequence situation, but in a high consequence situation where I can only get the video shot once, like an interview or something like that, I tend to err on the side of caution and lower volume, because I can always boost it in post, so long as it's not so quiet that it has, like, you know, background noise. So I have it at 0. I don't have the low pass or high pass filters on. I don't have any other things going on, just normal mono recording with the microphone. And again, I'll walk away off axis this time to see how well it picks up. So I'm walking away at a 45-degree angle, about 15 feet away, about 20 feet away, about 25 feet away. Now, you probably would not be using it in that kind of situation, but I just wanted to give you that offering. I actually I've shot videos here for fitness videos with the microphone that far away with the Rode before, and just boosted a bit in post, and nobody's complained about the audio quality. So that is how this microphone sounds at 0 setting. Again, I would modify the sound in post, but I think it's going to sound pretty dang good. Price point is $200. The Rode NTG, which has been out for a couple of years now, is $250, usually sometimes on sale for $200. So it's about as close for comparison as I can find that I have access to. And so on the Rode, before I switch over, you'll see that it has a few additional settings. And the volume knob is right here. I'm going to set it to 8 out of, I think, let's see, 8 out of 15. So yeah, right in the middle to equal 0 for this guy. And then I'm not going to use the low pass filter right there. One thing to note with the Rode, does not have a headphone out or headphone monitoring volume, so the Joby has that advantage over this. So part 2, we will use this microphone at the same settings as possible, and I'll do the background test and an off-axis test to see how they sound. So stay tuned. All right, part 2. Now with the Rode NTG microphone plugged in, I can now show you the Joby in more detail. So it's a little bit more slim design, and you can see where I had the volume 0 out of the 2 options, -10 I should say, 0 and +15. I had it at 0, which would equate 7 or 8 on this microphone. And then you can see the power right here is where you power on. This big button right here is actually a volume for the headphone right there. And then this is where you would put this cable, which is the cable they provided. It's actually pretty long, so it'll adjust to whatever cage you have on your camera. Put it in right there, and then USB-C right there is how you charge it, as well as how you can do a direct digital interface out to a computer or a smartphone. And then you'll see here 2 additional features that I did not use, but you sure could. Then there's a light right here to tell you when it is on, but it's kind of hard to see when you have the dead cat on. Dead cat I like to keep on pretty much no matter what, because you never know when the HVAC is going to kick on or wind's going to pick up or what have you. But there's a microphone without all the setup, and you can see the nice shock absorbing system right here, and it just slides onto your camera right there. So how does the Rode sound? How are the levels? They're about the same as levels, so I'm going to do the walk away test and see how it sounds. All right, walking back about 15 feet, about 20 feet right there, so I'm 20 feet away, farther than you probably would want to be away from a microphone, and then I'll walk away about 10 feet right now. I'm going to walk away at a 45-degree axis, walking and talking, walking and talking, walking and talking, walking and talking, about 25 feet away. Okay, heading back towards the camera. So the reason I did those 2 tests is because sometimes you won't be able to put a wireless microphone on your talent, and so you need to use a shotgun microphone, running and gunning, doing interviews at a trade show, doing fitness videos, doing videos for classrooms. This might be a really good option. So also a lot of people will use these kind of on-camera microphones and just have them barely out of frame. It's a very common tactic for YouTubers. They'll have this kind of camera with a longer cable going into either the camera or into a different kind of recorder, like a Zoom recorder. And it's a very effective method, especially if you have a static person not going to walk around. You can easily just do it that way. It is closer, just slightly out of frame. That is an option as well. However, how I use these microphones is on camera, running and gunning and interviewing. But if I'm being honest, I will try and usually take additional few minutes to have a wireless microphone to put on the person. And Joby has a nice one we did review last year, and our colleague Devin Dowd uses it for her videos. So Joby makes great stuff, as you can probably tell from the comparison here. One last gander at it. It's going to be a little smaller, and I'll do a picture below. A little bit smaller, more compact. Plus you have the bonus of having the headphone jack right there, so you can monitor it. So some pluses right there for sure. Plus it's $50 cheaper than the Rode. Something to consider. If you found this helpful, a thumbs up would be appreciated. If you want to see more content in audio and video, consider subscribing to our Engearment YouTube channel. A link right there. I'm Sean Sewell, the owner and director of Stoke for Engearment. Until next time, take care.